Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Evening Focus. I'm Pastor Michael Miller. We want to start up tonight by wishing Ben and his family a safe and joyful journey as they travel across the country to see his mother in Oregon. So we hope he and Caitlin and Leo and Ari and Madeline are being blessed on their journey so far. So, well, hello, Peg.
Hi.
What is this here? I don't think I left these things here.
No, actually I brought them. I thought that I could talk a little bit about colored pencils, paper, and a new book called Praying in Color. So I thought maybe in a couple of minutes we could have a conversation about why I'm so excited about the new book.
That sounds like a good plan.
But I also heard that Ronnie was coming and thought maybe he would join us.
Awesome.
Okay.
It's always fun to talk with Ronnie.
I think so too.
It's Donnie!
Donnie! Oh, I thought it was Ronnie.
Yeah.
Donnie's here. Where's Ronnie? Hey! It's Donnie!
Connie?
Hi, Connie.
I've never met you before.
Well,
Who's that?
Donnie.
Somebody's in disguise.
Bonnie.
It sounds like all of Ronnie's cousins have
I
showed
think
up.
so, yeah.
Oh.
So what are you guys doing here?
Well, I'm looking for Ronnie.
Yeah, I don't think he's here yet.
Oh my goodness. I think the whole family came from out of town.
I
So
think
it looks
so.
like
I'm Johnny.
Hi,
Johnny.
Johnny.
Ooh, Johnny.
You got any more relatives with you tonight?
Only one.
Who's that?
You're gonna love this one. Just,
We can't wait. Hey!
Oh!
Who are you?
Bruce.
Hey,
Hi,
Bruce!
Oh!
Careful there, Bruce.
What happened? I knocked over the thingy. Johnny will get it for me. I'm Bruce. I thought I'd come to say hello to Robbie, but I don't see him
I
anyway.
don't think he's here yet.
How about you, Johnny? No, man.
You guys think you can find Ronnie and bring him here? He's supposed to be here tonight.
Sure.
Thanks, guys.
See you later. Oh, well, I look forward to that conversation. While we're waiting for them to find Ronnie. What Peg said about praying made me think about our staff meeting this morning, because we've been talking about, well, what do we do now? You know, everything keeps changing, and it's hard to know what the next step should be looking like. What should we be trying to do as a congregation? How do we best reach out to our community? How do we continue to connect and care for one another as members of this faith community? What kind of goals should we have? So we're talking through those kind of things, and then I was reflecting and asking the group, well, what do you think the next step is? And Eric said, pray. And it was just pretty clear that that was a good next step. That we take the opportunity to take a deep breath and listen deeply to the things that we've been hearing, and then listen more deeply to how God is at work in that, and what is the Spirit saying to us now. I think I mentioned it a while ago, but the same teacher that shared the chant with me that we've been singing most every night, Changeless and Calm, he made the simple statement that spiritual leadership is led by the Spirit. We don't lead this on our own. As a congregation or as a family or as an individual, as we're seeking to follow God, It is the Spirit that's leading us, and so if the Spirit is leading, somehow we need to be listening. Somehow we need to be paying attention. So what is the Spirit doing? What is the Spirit inviting to us next? Taking the time to listen and pay attention to that so that we can allow ourselves, so that we can be willing to be led. So, the next step is to pray. The next step is to do that listening work and sense how God is present and active in the midst of so much change. So I want to talk to Peg a little bit more about what she's been thinking, what she's been learning. So when you think about that, Peg, how do you pray?
Well, I spend most of my time trying to stay on topic, quite honestly. I know I need to pray, and I start out, and then so often my brain goes sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys.
Hi,
Well, Ronnie,
I'm so happy
here.
you made it.
Sorry I'm late.
That's all right.
I was playing outside.
You were?
Yep.
Good. It was a great day for it, huh?
A little wet.
A little wet. Okay. All right.
Well, what are we talking about tonight?
Praying. And honestly, the reason is Pastor Michael was talking with staff this morning about the next step, and Eric said it should be about praying, and I got to thinking that since I was invited in tonight, that I would share something that has been helping me to pray. You'd think at 64 years old that I would know how to pray by now. But praying is something you develop your entire life. It's something that you practice. It's something that you stay with, and you learn new ways to do it. So, but I found a book, right? And that's kind of me anyway. I kind of like books in general.
Me too.
Yeah. So it's called Praying in Color. And it's really been a help to me because it gives me these great ideas about how to focus. The author is someone who says, I'm not an artist at all. Well, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't draw a stick man, pretty much. But the idea is that if you are busy with your hands and you're busy creating something, that you can stay focused on that thing. So what you do is you write what it is you are wanting to pray about. And like the paper and the colored pencils that I had sitting on your desk,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter what kind you have. You can have, that's scratch paper. I use the back side of things that I've already used, and just some colored pencils I find around the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I doodle.
Mm-hmm.
And doodling doesn't require any artistic ability, which is the beauty of it. You just get to do it. And then you color in different parts of it with the color that comes with. So I wanted to share this book because I think it has all sorts of great things in it. It tells you how to pick your supplies. It gives you examples of how to do the doodles. But mostly, it talks about all the different kinds of prayer. And I was reminded that I'm only doing one or two kinds of prayers. I pray a lot like we pray in church, which is that intercessory prayer where you pray for somebody. Okay? We pray for this person and that person and these people in this city and so forth. But there are other ways to pray. Did you know that you would pray about being disappointed or disgruntled or kind of being crabby? You can pray about that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that comes in handy, when you've had a bad day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and did you know that you can praise somebody? We have all kinds of people
Yeah.
interested in praying tonight.
Uh-huh.
All right, so you can do
Hey.
one that's all about praising God, and that's the only thing to do. You doodle and you color and you put God in the middle of your page and you make it a glorious design. And the whole time you think about God, and maybe you think about the different names for God, and all you do is talk about how wonderful God is. And that's your prayer for the night.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of what that might look like?
Well, I have one where God is in the center and the things that I'm worried about are around it.
Oh.
So, for instance, I don't know if that's working for us. Does that work? Can you see in the... Okay. In the middle of almost any prayer is God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And whatever it is that you're also praying about, you put around it.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And then you doodle and you color. You can also pray about things that are making you sad or things that are making you angry. You can doodle about asking God to show you new ways of thinking. Sometimes you can bless things. So, do you know what I mean when I say blessing things?
No.
No? Pastor Michael, how would you describe blessing things?
I think of blessing as a good word, to speak a good word, to give, I guess, to give God's love and grace upon somebody, to invite that mercy to wash over.
Sometimes I do that. I do it a lot with my grandkids.
Mhm.
I think, oh, please bless them. Let them be healthy. Let them be safe. Let them be having some fun outside. Let them grow up to be people who know you, God. Those are the kinds of blessings sometimes that I like to pray for.
Kind of like a glass full of the gifts that you like to pour out on somebody.
Yeah.
I
So
get
you
it
can
now.
do blessing prayers. The one that's really the hardest for me is you can pray for your enemies.
Mm.
Yeah.
What?
You can pray for your enemies. And I got a couple of folks, things are so tense in the world right now, and sometimes my heart isn't as forgiving as it should be. And I'm just really, really angry sometimes about what's going on.
Mhm.
And so if I put that person down and I pray for that person, that makes me find something of value in that person. And it reminds me that they are a person.
Mhm.
They are a person, and they are still a child of God. And I need reminding of that quite often. So I've been doing more praying for my enemies lately than, it's a tense and kind of strange time for us.
Mhm.
And I need to remind myself of that. And the one I did the other night, which was kind of interesting, is called a discernment prayer. And that was me figuring out, what's my next step in life?
Mhm.
Where am I headed? Where am I going? What am I doing? And how am I going to find my purpose in life?
Mhm.
Because you don't have the same purpose your whole time.
Mhm.
You just don't. So what's next? And I know that it isn't my job to figure it out because God leads me to wherever I'm going to go. The Spirit. I usually think about it as the Spirit, kind of nudging and pushing me along. God opens the doors and the Spirit pushes me through somehow or another.
Mhm.
So anyway,
And that's pretty much what we were talking about in our staff.
yeah, it was,
How-
really.
How to allow the Spirit to lead that.
Yeah. So if it's of any help or interest to anybody, I just thought the book was a way, this method of putting it down on paper, and the next day, if I want to, I can go back again. Remember what I prayed for yesterday? It isn't just in and out and gone. I kind of have a record of the things that have been on my mind, and sometimes I go back, and then I look at them again, and then I pray for something new in the evening.
Mhm.
So, anyway, I don't know if there's anything else you'd want to know about it, but
That sounds very interesting. Thank you, Peg.
yeah, thanks for listening to me. When you get excited about something, you just want to share it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was it. So
Well, next-
I appreciate the invitation to come and do that.
It makes praying almost look like playing, doesn't it, Ronnie? Ronnie?
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, and the thing I didn't mention, it's for all ages. You
Mhm.
can be 3 and do this, and you can be 103 and do this, right? This isn't a kid thing or a grown-up thing. It's for all of us. And I always like things that are for all ages. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Well, Ronnie, I got a bucket full of colored pencils over there and a lot of paper. Should we try it out later?
I think so. That'd be fun.
All right. Good.
Me too. Oh,
Hey, guys.
oh. See?
Looks like you got to go off and play for a little bit, but you can come back later and we'll do that.
Yeah, we're going to play for a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Good. Thank you, Peg.
You're welcome.
So, as we just talked about that, I think it's a good. We don't have an opportunity here in our gathering to do the doodling part of it, but to think about some of those different times and needs that arise that we can bring into our prayer. I'd like to do that because I think we're feeling a lot of different emotions right now, and just to allow ourselves to feel those emotions and to bring those to God. So you can imagine God in the middle of a piece of paper, and we'll put these emotions around in a kind of a visual way. You can imagine that. And today we're going to bring back a song that we've sung before. So after each invitation to pray, we'll sing, hear our prayer, Lord, make us whole. Peace to all people, hope for each soul. God of grace in this place, hear now our prayer. So as we were talking today, in our staff meeting, and as we were reflecting together with Peg, there's confusion right now, uncertainty. So let's start out by praying for all who are struggling to know what the sense of purpose is now, and how do we move forward in our confusion and in our uncertainty. Spirit, lead us. Hear our prayer, Lord, make us whole. Peace to all people, hope for each soul. God of grace in this place, hear now our prayer. Many too are angry. Fear and pain give rise to anger. And so for those who are angry, that they may be motivated to constructive action, and that they might find a peace that will sustain them. Hear our prayer, Lord, make us whole. Peace to all people, hope for each soul. God of grace in this place, hear now our prayer. And for all who are frustrated at the loss of opportunities, and frustrated over obstacles that just seem to keep arising in our pathway. For all who are frustrated, Spirit, lead us. Hear our prayer, Lord, make us whole. Peace to all people, hope for each soul. God of grace in this place, hear now our prayer. And for those who are lonely and alone, the long time of quarantine and being sheltered in place for those who are totally by themselves is very difficult. So we surround them with our prayers and our love, praying that the Spirit also may be present with them. Hear our prayer, Lord, make us whole. Peace to all people, hope for each soul. God of grace in this place, hear now our prayer. I heard today that it was the largest day of increase in cases of COVID around the globe. And so for those who continue to become ill and are in need of healing, we ask for God's healing and presence. Hear our prayer, Lord, make us whole. Peace to all people, hope for each soul. God of grace And so we take all of the emotions and the feelings that we're feeling at this time and on any day and bring those into the presence of God and ask for God to be in the midst of that and to lead us forward. Amen. Well, Dan, what else can we sing today?
Well, Pastor, we've got a visitor tonight. So Peg, do you have any ideas of a song we can do tonight?
Well, one of my favorites is What a Friend We Have in Jesus, and it talks about taking everything to God in prayer. So I thought
perfect.
maybe it would be a good reminder one more time.
That's a great song to do. We actually have the lyrics up here on the board already. So hey, let's do that one.
What a friend we have in Jesus, all our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Have we trials and temptations? Is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Can we find a friend so faithful who will all our sorrows share? Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Are we weak and heavy laden? Comfort with a load of care. Precious Savior, still our refuge. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Do your friends despise your Savior? Take it to the Lord in prayer. In His arms He'll take and shield you. You will find a solace there.
That's a great song to sing, Peg. Thank you. And we're going to do one more song. So this was written by our friends Caitlin and Ben Johnston Uri. It's based on Psalm 121. I lift my eyes up, and we'll try to do it justice for them.
I lift my eyes up to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord God, the Holy One, Maker of all the earth and heavens. You will keep me from stumbling. You are always watching, never failing, never for the Lord is our protector, who will shade at our right hand. So God is our helper. Strength at our right hand, always watching over us. The Spirit does lead us. It's a matter of remembering that and becoming willing again and again to receive that guidance, that leadership. And so whenever you're feeling angry, whenever you're feeling upset with someone you might call an enemy, whenever you're feeling sad, whenever you're feeling lost, whatever that is, put God in the middle of the page and start drawing those feelings around it. Make the connections. Bring that into your prayer and invite God to lead you through it. The promise of the Psalms and the promise of all the Scriptures is that God is faithful. So as we come to the end tonight, we root ourselves, as always, and again, in that presence. Please join me as we sing or chant together. Changeless and calm, deep mystery, ever more deeply rooted in thee. Changeless and calm, deep mystery, ever more deeply rooted in thee. Changeless and calm, deep mystery, ever more deeply rooted in thee. May you rest well tonight. Imagine that glass full of the gifts of God's love and blessing pouring out over you as you rest. And may you be strengthened to begin a new day, led by the Spirit.